Welcome to Both, Not Either Or, a podcast about integrative medicine and health. We're so happy that you are listening to our podcast. Together, we can help create a greater understanding for integrative medicine and health. If you're interested in this, we warmly invite you to become a member and join our network. More information about this will be shared in the end of the episode, but you can also find it in our website, fimh.se. My name is Lena Kjellqvist and I host these conversations. I am the chairman of the board of the association behind this podcast. My professional title is board certified psychotherapist and nurse. Welcome to a new episode of the podcast Both instead of Either Or. And today we are recording, as we usually do, from the beautiful Östermalm in the beautiful Stockholm. And next to me I have my precious sound engineer Rasmus Tibell. And today we are three guests, or we have three guests here in our room, and two of them are coming from a long way here. You from the United States. I'm looking at Tina Schermer Sellers and Tina Nevin, and I have also Linda Mekibes here on my left side. Yes. Welcome. You're so welcome, all of you.
Thank you so much. So good to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I come from Småland.
I know it's a long way.
So it's a long way, but not
as far.
Tina gets further. And it's going to be confusing because we're two Tina.
Yeah, we have to talk about that. How will we what will we do with that?
I'm the Tina without the Swedish accent.
Right.
This one is the Tina. The other one.
Yeah, the Småländska Tina.
Yeah, with the Swedish accent.
With the Swedish accent.
Yeah, so we just manage with that. Yeah. Or we could say Tina S and Tina N also. Okay, so good. So we'll start with you, Tina Schermer Sellers. You are a licensed sex and gender feminist psychotherapist, best-selling author, researcher, eminent professor and a media personality who experience spans sex therapy, spiritual intimacy, parenting, medicine and social justice. Oh my God. We have so much to talk about
I'm
today.
excited.
Your book, Sex, God and the Conservative Church, Erasing Shame from Sexual Intimacy, has gone global. Your latest book, Shameless Parenting, everything you need to raise shame-free. Do you say so?
Yes.
Confident kids and heal your shame too. Heal your shame to the children.
Parent.
To the parent.
Yeah. So the parent is raising their child to feel shame-free about themselves. Yeah. But the parent often is needing to heal the shame from their own childhood. So helping them heal their shame too while they're doing that.
Yeah. So that is the book about?
Parenting.
Parenting.
Parenting and sexuality and sexual health. Yeah.
All of those.
It's actually a lot about relational health, emotional intelligence, and sexual health or sexual intelligence.
Okay, so it begins there. And into to take care of the children shamelessly, or
I could show you one. I didn't know to bring it out. But it's birth to two. So what do they need in order to grow emotionally, relationally, and also to have their questions answered, or about their bodies? 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, all the way up to 18. So it's holding the hand of parents who don't know what to do when their kids find their genitals, or when they're curious, they walk in on their parents, or they're curious about a neighbor person. You know what I mean? When they bring up the kind of curiosities that some parents find very difficult to manage. And so I'm just trying to make it easier for parents to know what to do, know what to expect. And also the end of every chapter says, here's the leading books for your kids and the leading books for you and websites, so that you can do this more easily.
Right, so important. Okay, so we'll get into that during this episode, during this our conversation.
Great.
Then I will introduce Tina Nevin from Småland.
From Småland.
From Småland. You are a Swedish licensed nurse from the
Yes.
beginning, and you are a midwife,
Yes.
and you are a certified sexologist.
I'm certified in clinical sexology.
Yeah. With an extensive experience in sexual health education also.
Yes.
Counseling and advocacy. You're also certified practitioner and trainee in the 4D. We will come into that, what that is, 4D wheel method, developed by Gina Ogden. Okay, so maybe we just stop there for a little while and we just say something about the 4-wheel method. The 4-wheel method that...
It's a 4D wheel, very important because it's dimensions, because it's not just a wheel.
Yeah.
So it's the 4-dimensional wheel,
Right.
and it has to do with sexual experience.
And it's 4-dimension of what?
It's the 4-dimension, it's a holistic therapeutic method where you address the social or the mental dimensions of being human, the physical with the body, the emotional with the heart chakra, we call it, and then also the spiritual that we in Sweden talk about the existential dimension of being human. So it covers those dimensions of being a human being that you can use to heal sexually if you're sexual trauma.
Yeah. And the method, this method is from the a spiritual wheel from the beginning.
Well, it comes from from the indigenous people of mostly America. You have the North America and the South America, and it comes from Peru, from something called the Pachacuti Mesa tradition, and it's a mesa which is like a table sort of, but you have it on the floor, and you have these dimensions, and you walk around. So you use movement, you use objects to concretize the abstract problems that you have, and by moving, you don't just, like in traditional therapy, you sit, then you end up very much in your head.
In the mental.
And with this method, you include your whole body, and you can see from different sides your
Different dimensions.
Yeah.
And is it from the beginning developed just for sexuality problems like trauma or yeah?
Not by the indigenous people. It's a way of living and learning throughout life.
So Gina, this was her spirituality. And she did a survey of almost 4,000 people, really looking at how did they experience their sexuality, both in ways that were good and in ways that might have been hurtful. And out of all these responses that she had, this huge amount of data that she had, it's the second largest sexual health survey done in America. Wow. She could hear and see in the data that people were talking about sometimes what they were thinking about sexuality, or getting messages that they didn't like, or maybe they were good messages. So she could see the mind showing up. People would talk about being affected in deep ways, in sort of spiritual ways, by things that were hurtful that happened sexually, or things that were liberating that happened sexually. She also heard them talk about the body, like feeling sick to their stomach or having pelvic pain. It was in the body. And then she also heard, of course, a lot of emotional kinds of experiences, good and bad. And so she could see that these 4 dimensions were showing up. And she thought, how could I work with this in a way that actually helps people both heal what happened that was hurtful, but also move toward what they would want in their life. And so since she was practicing this spirituality, this Pachacuti Mesa spirituality, and with her teacher or shaman, they together in talking about it and Gina thinking about it, she was like, we could use the wheel, what I use. We could lay it out that way. And she came up with this way to work it where you walk it. You walk it around. And like Tina was saying, Swedish Tina was saying, you concretize, like you bring to the wheel an object that represents what you want to move away from, and an object that represents what you want to move toward. And then you learn to walk it in a ritual way, in the way the Pachacuti Mesa, the way the sun moves, always the same way. And as you're walking by these different dimensions, you lay down each object in whatever dimension it feels like it belongs in just for right now. So maybe in my right hand, I'm holding a stick, and it represents that I feel stuck. And as I walk around, I think, I feel the stuck most in my body. I'm going to lay it in the body quadrant, right? And in my left hand, it's what I want to move toward. It's a wing from a bird, or a feather from a bird, and I want to feel free. And as I'm walking around, where does this want to go right now? I think right now this feather wants to go in the emotional quadrant, where I want to feel free in my heart first. And we just place them there. And then everyone who's there might do the same thing. And then the person who's leading might say, who wants to work first? And which object do you want to work with first? And then we walk until the person, and the person listens and notices that as they're talking, they're doing this. They hold their stomach. And they gently say, how about we move over into the body quadrant and just stand there as you keep telling your story? And maybe they just start, a tear comes down, and they gently say, how about we move over into the emotional quadrant? I see there's a tear coming down your face. And you keep them just telling the story of either what they're wanting to move toward or away from, and you just gently move them as the story indicates and their body indicates where they might want to go. And it's something about the not sitting and the not just talking. It's in the magic of the movement and the gentle sort of suggestions of the facilitator that things start to click that is purely magical. I mean,
can imagine.
It's incredible.
It kind of, you put it becomes embodied.
Yes.
When you do this, and you do it also in relation with the facilitator.
Yes.
And you're also in the intellectual, and you're also in your heart. So it's very holistic.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But I think having the quadrants allow people, when they need to sort of separate things so they can feel them or look at them, it allows them to do it where it's just not all bunched together. And they can be like, that's where I think they make connections that they have a hard time making when they can't quite separate things. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. And it also is like the symbolic of the stick and the feather, and it's very dimensional. It's kind of what I hear, more dimensional than just the four.
Yeah, and Gina would say so.
Oh yeah, it is, because you also have the past, the present, and the future. You have if you have a spiritual belief, it's the above and it's the below. So it's very multidimensional. And it like you said, it's so many things. It kind of organizes. You can sort of organize all the things that is happening with you. And as a facilitator, my role is to hold a safe space. I will not give solutions, because we believe that the solutions is within the client that is coming. But I can initiate movement, hold the space, and ask questions like you said, and to sort of empower them to move on. And then what usually happens is you will come to this aha moment. Oh yes. And that's the magic with this method. It's so amazing to witness, because as a facilitator I am witnessing a journey. I can walk beside, but it's not my path. I don't own the problem, but I'm there. And it makes it in a way for therapist. You don't work harder than your client.
You don't ever, because you don't know what the aha is going to be. You don't, and so you are sitting with just as much anticipation as the client is.
You just have to embrace the
Yes.
process.
Yes.
And keep a safe space.
Yes.
It's very beautiful.
And trust the wheel.
Yeah, and trust the wheel. Oh. And just for the listener, I would say the dimension, again, it's heart, mind, spirit, and body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say that one of the things that happened as Gina was teaching this and people were learning it and time was going on, is that it became very clear that this way of working transcends sexuality. It began there, but people started bringing their relationship with their mother, or bringing what was happening at home with their kids, or they started bringing whatever, and it was helpful with whatever people brought. And so the wonderful thing is you can keep practicing this in your lifetime to help you figure things out, you know? And I remember I did it with my daughter when she was, I don't even know, in her 20s, early 20s. And she was struggling with organization. And so I said, let's just do the wheel. Let's just see what happens. And we're up in my bedroom and she's walking the wheel and she starts to put things together that she had never put together. And we had talked about these things forever. And it was like, oh, I see what I can do. I see it's not about me being bad that I can't organize better, but I can do a few more things and make my own life a little bit. And it was just like, I don't know, this thing works. I don't know.
Yeah. I can
And
tell.
the thing is that everything is like, they depend on each other and they will influence each other, all these dimensions. And it's like, if you're very focused in your mind, you will realize if I only am there, it will affect the body, heart, and spirit. Yeah. So you have to include them. And in the middle of the wheel, you have where they meet. And that's in a way called the middle of the circle. That is also the transformation.
Transcendent.
You can't just focus on one part, which we do a lot in the medical field. You come with pain somewhere, you focus on that pain, and you forget that pain depends on the rest.
It runs in the system.
Yes.
And the system for so much, many dimensions, as we are speaking about.
And
So
what we know now with neuroscience, which is amazing, it makes this evidence-based.
Yes.
And in Gina's latest book, she had, with the neuroscience update, she could show how this works with our whole system, the nervous system, everything.
Yeah.
So it's darn good.
It
method.
was always trauma informed.
Yeah.
Before we had that language.
Yeah. So I have so many questions, and I would, but I start with one. Who was Gina Ogden?
You take her.
Tell us about that.
Gina Ogden was brought up in a very disturbed family, a very disturbed childhood, and tried to find herself throughout life. She became a family and a therapist, family and couples therapist, and that's when she did the research, because she realized she couldn't find any books on sexuality when it came to therapy. So that's what her achievement. So she was a therapist, she was a teacher, a mentor,
A rebel.
A rebel. She was such a true feminist.
Yeah.
She was.
Women's right to their body,
Yes.
and
Yes.
she would be up on the barricades, fighting for sexual rights. And I mean, she was my mentor and helped me through difficulties. So I went to her retreats in Mexico. I just had to go. And I don't know, I just couldn't stop. And then finally she said, well, you might as well be my co-leader. And she started training me. And we grew from her being my mentor also to be my spiritual sister. And I had the blessing of being her death doula when she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, or 5 even. And so I lived with her and her partner during her last days or weeks, month of life, to help her with drumming and do all the rituals.
And rub her feet.
Rub her feet. And that's the feet rubbing I did every day with peppermint and oil, and it was a meditation. And Gina would say that, you're rubbing my feet and I feel I'm in the bliss. This is sexual well-being. And me being a midwife, also working with cancer patient, I could use this method in that part, and how everything, like we're so genital focused when it comes to sexuality, and to expand this. And for Gina, it was like the feet, the massage of the feet went through her whole body. And that's when she was without pain, without agony. So taking time to find other parts is one thing I learned from her. And she, I don't know, I mean, she's my goddess, really.
Yeah, and she became mine too.
And she'd been writing so many books, and she was a rebel feminist and a warrior woman.
And was innovating until the end. I mean, was just one of those brilliant, connected humans that was getting ideas of what else do we need to do and what else do we need to do. And yeah, we could talk and create. We had programs developed that we never brought to fruition. Yeah,
very creative process, and that is with this. As a psychotherapist, I also think about Freud. Suddenly I think about Freud, and he was talking actually about that it was 2 energies that was the most important energies for us as a human beings, and that is the sexual energy and the aggressive, or the aggressive that you have to put up frames to, or to have the direction, what you say, the riktning for your life, where you want to go to. But the sexual energy is everything that you it's about living. I think about estrogen, that is the hormone of life, and also one of the most important hormones for our ability to have orgasms, or it's children as well, but still. So it's connected in so many ways. And
as I say, the word erotic comes from Plato. And it was to see in beauty the beauty of body and mind. And
kind of the connection.
Yes, exactly. And in ancient Jewish thought, it was believed that the moment an infant took their first breath, they were breathing in erotic energy, the energy of life, the creative energy of life, and that is the inspiration that courses through your body your whole life until you have your last breath, which is the expiration, when that creative life force leaves your body. And that the innovation, the desire to touch, the desire to create, the desire to do, the desire to be, all of is all part of erotic energy that is the force of life. Yeah.
Right.
The inner glow. We would have
the inner fire.
The inner fire. And it's a life energy, and that's, I think, who was Gina? Well, she was the one that could expand sexuality from just being male-female genital intercourse, which actually is so small, but that has been, and is still in the society. So by expanding, we can give our clients a new awareness and tools to discover ways of pleasure instead of just performance. Pleasure is much nicer.
Connection and pleasure, and that's human. And that's what came out of Gina's, what came out of her research that was really brought out in ways that it hadn't been before. You know, that infants, when they're born, right, they're seeking the breast, but the milk isn't there. It's not because they can be fed. A connection, pleasure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we know that if we give little toddlers enough holding, that their brains will develop better than if they're not getting enough, right? They'll have neurological deficits usually. If you walk down the halls of an Alzheimer's unit where people don't have memory, they're still seeking connection and pleasure because it's so human. It drives their adult children crazy, right? But you can see that this is a human life force. So sexuality has always been so much more, and it's certainly not penis in vagina. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's about, I'm human and I desire connection and pleasure with you or you. You know what I mean? It's about a human expression of connection with self or with other. Yeah.
From the genitals I usually say when I talk about the feminine energy, and I think that as a feminist, and we all here are feminists, I think the feminine energy creates that the man can give us a sperm and we create a child. The man can give us a house and we create a home. That is also sexual.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I continue with my introduction. I have to say, because I just love the title, I just have to say this, that you, and I'm looking at Tina Nevin, you are also the author of Pussypedia. Pussypedia, I just love it. Pussy power. We are here now with the Pussypedia. What every woman needs to know about her genitals that come 28. Do you say so?
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, Pussypedia.
Well, Pussypedia was I was lecturing together with this guy at the Swedish Association of Sexuality Education, RFSU, and he had been doing what is called dictionary, what all you need to know about the knob. And then I came from Canada after having done sexology courses at the university there. And so I started doing the Pussypedia and he did the dictionary lectures. And then they wanted us to make the books. So that we did. And I could write all the things I learned about in Canada. About the female ejaculation that was unknown in Sweden. To get it into the book, I had to fight. But I had, professors from the States, covering me.
Behind you, covering your back.
Yeah, so I got it in there, but a lot of even medical...
they didn't want to.
No, that was not right. It was called, they actually thought women peed. Were leaking urine and it wasn't the ejaculation. So the anatomy, me as a midwife, it was very important to educate people.
So could we say something about that? Because I think this still is a thing that so many women and men doesn't know about.
Well, making a long story short, when we are first created, we are looking alike, and then the male fetus will have the clitoris grown out into a penis, and the ovaries going down into the testicles, and the prostate that we know about in the male is still in the female body. It's surrounding the urethra from the urine bladder and out, and that prostate has the same function. I mean, we have, just like the penis, we have the clitoris with the erectile tissue, and we have the prostate that can expulse a fluid. It doesn't have to be with orgasm, but usually during orgasm. And you can stimulate it from the inside. That's called the G-spot, But it's actually an area. And so that was so unknown for many gynecologists. I was out teaching doctors and medical people, midwives, because I was a midwife when I learned about it in Canada. So I went home and started teaching medical people. But I had also a lot of medical people against me. They didn't want this to... No.
Yeah, there are very few accurate illustrations in medical books in the U.S. as well. But there was one, and it had the in utero 7-week-old, what they looked like, and they're identical. And then there's a wash of testosterone that happens for those that are going to develop male parts. And that's when the differentiation starts. But this one image color-coded every part the same. So then you could see what the parts became. And so you can see that the function is still the same. And the color coding also has to do with the amount of nerve endings in the different tissues. It's fascinating, and so many people don't know it. And I did the same thing. I taught so many people, like, this is how your body has been put together, you know? And so we know that these are organized in these ways here, but they're more alike than they are different. Totally unknown by most people.
Unbelievable. But so we have this episode that we are going to, so we're going to spread this knowledge to those who doesn't have it. How common is it that people knows about this? Medical people, ordinary people.
I don't know about the medical people now, but most patients that I meet have no idea, and most clients that I meet have no idea about it.
It's not what we have in our education, because I'm a nurse as well from the beginning. So I have never had this in the education.
And I trained young professional educators for RFSU that went out to the schools and talked about this in the schools. And I think they still have that program, but I 2008 or 7, I left RFSU to do other things. And they still have this program of going out into the schools. But we are worried now with what they're doing with the sex education. They are changing it with the new läroplan, whatever that is in English, for the sex ed in school. And it's not going to be something that all teachers are responsible of, only a few again. And I fear that it will go back to some basic biology again.
And I would echo that. I mean, I talk to Tina all the time, and I'm like, Sweden does not want to follow the example of the United States.
Please don't.
We took out sex education, which we had some. It was mostly reproductive health from the 40s until about 1980. And then in 1980, when Reagan came in, they started pushing what they called a family values agenda, but it really didn't have anything to do with family values. And behind that was really about growing capitalism, helping the wealthy get wealthier and the corporations. But what came in front so that they could keep certain voters is they went after the conservative voters, the religious voters, and told them, we are going to protect you now, and we're going to take out sex education and put in abstinence-only education, which is, we know now, is 80% medically inaccurate. It just scared them. And they took out the research money as well in sexuality. That all left. You can look at things from the 70s that are still way more progressive than you will find now. And so then what you have is a whole host of people so ignorant about themselves, and they defer to people more authoritarian. But meanwhile, we're running our economy on selling people things. We sell that you're not good enough so that you buy this and do that, right? And so you have all of these kids that can be so easily exploited because they don't have the knowledge about what it is to protect themselves, to know what manipulation is, to know that I have body autonomy and you have body autonomy, that we have to talk, to have consent back and forth, like all the basic things that you need to know to do relationships well, and do your own emotional health well, and your own sexual health and choices well. You have to provide that education. So I'm often saying it makes no sense that we provide education in all these other areas, but what we do around sexual health is we tell kids, and I'm going to use the analogy of driving a car, we tell them driving a car is fun. It's also very dangerous. You are not going to do it at all until you're 16 or 17 years old. And then we're going to give you keys, and we're going to tell you you can go do anything you want. That's how we do sex education in America. We say, no, 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 but you're going to get married and be fine. But I've been scared for 20 years about my body, or I'm scared about how I'm going to get treated, or I have been treated poorly, right? Or I have treated people poorly. Right. And now I have that history that I bring in to my relationship, right? It's you do not want to go that way. You want to, we want to provide education to our children so that they can know,
of course,
how to make good decisions. And we have tons of research that came out of the Scandinavian countries that shows how preventative it is to provide sexual health information, age appropriate.
Of course.
Every single year. I have a book from 1964 from Sweden that shows life education. It shows 6th grade. They're teaching them how to bathe babies. It's beautiful. You want to do what you were doing.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
So we will come to that, how it is in Sweden now. But I also want to introduce Linda Mekibes. And before I do that, I also will say to those who are listening that we're going to have an exclusively erotic, how do you say it? Erotic meditation. Sooner in the episode.
A little meditation, yes.
So
see if you can light a bit of fire in the people watching.
Here
Tickle a bit.
Yes, we will do that. So Linda Mekibes, my favorite. You are a licensed social worker and a certified therapist. Almost certified, but you're still
almost.
Yeah, almost. With over 18 years of experience supporting individuals, couples, and families through trauma, crisis, and life transitions.
Yes.
You have worked with various clinical and community settings, including Barnahus here in Stockholm. And you are now in an advanced psychotherapy training with Erika Stiftelsen.
Yeah.
And I have the honor to be a supervisor.
That's correct.
And it's because, or thanks to, what you say, tack vare. Thanks to, that I have this lovely woman here. Lovely women here with us today. So we are 4 pussy power people, pussy power females here. So we wanted to make a change. Right.
Yeah, and I'm also certified for the wheeler
practitioner. Yeah.
So we're not too many in Sweden.
Yeah.
No,
but we're on it.
We're going to expand and grow.
So thanks to you, we're talking about this because you come home from Mexico. You have been there to become a certified for the
wheel practitioner.
Yeah. And you told me about this, and I will say that, oh my God, this is so interesting and important to speak about and talk about, and now we have you here. So Linda.
Yes. Tell me.
So Linda, what do you want to add?
I mean, I'm so grateful for you having my 2 Tinas in life here in your sofa. So I'm just glad, I'm just so excited to hear all the things that you are saying. And also, Tina, do you remember Tina, the Swedish Tina Nevin? I also been at RVSU. I went to school to educate in this kind of area, what you are saying.
I trained you as a young professional educator.
Yes. So I'm still in your, going behind Tina Nevin in her shoes.
You do.
You're
honoring that so much.
No, but I'm grateful to be here with you guys. So I said to my supervisor, you need to meet those Tinas. We need to have them here in this sofa.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, to have the chance that Tina is here for 2 weeks and a few days here. So it's grab the chance.
Moment.
Yeah, grab the moment.
Yeah.
She's here.
Thank you so much.
Magnificent moments. We have a magnificent moment.
And the Tina S, she can't say no to the Tina N. And vice versa.
We love that. We love that. So Linda, when you brought this up for me and you said this, what kind of question would you like us to? We have talked already about so much things, but what would you like to have us to talk about in this episode? What was your intention?
I've been working, as you said, like almost 18 years with therapy, crisis counselor. I've been working with the power of the conversation, but I always felt like it's something that is missing. So when I got in touch with this 4D wheel, I was like, this is the way to work. Like if I work as a therapist, I need more ways of to give the clients a way to understand what he or she is feeling, the connection with the heart, spirit, body, and mind. And also to move around. I love that. And also one thing that I really brought to me after Mexico, being in Boca de Tomatlan, was this wheel. You have this wheel, but you make it your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took that with me. So now I'm trying to make it my own as a therapist, because I'm not a sexologist. I'm a therapist and I'm a social worker. So I work with families as well. And you can do that as a sexologist as well. But that's not my field, my expertise.
Which is good, because this method can be used together with Gestalt therapy, any kind
CBT,
of yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a model that you can marry with different practices, which is, it doesn't have to, but I mean sex is everywhere in you anyway, so even if you say you're not a sexologist, the sexual power is within whatever we do when we meet people, because we connect.
So my field is more to trauma, and the two objects are really good for that, because you bring two objects, the one that you want to nourish, as Tina Sellers told us about, and the one that give you
it hinders you.
Yeah, it hinders you.
Holds you back.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to see the clients work through the wheel, and you are there with them. But as you said, you don't do their work, they do their work. But you need to have the trust in the process.
And this works with families.
Yes.
This works with children. This works with couples. And this is what is amazing about it. And as there were more people practicing this with Gina in the States, it became really clear. Like, she would be working with a gynecologist and she would say, well, but I think I can do this and this with it, you know? And Gina was starting to realize and see and wanting to capture, well, you tell this story. I want to get that on tape because it's important. You're using it in this way, you know? And that's what we were all discovering, is that we understand why it began where it did and when it did in history. Like, we needed to look at what was happening in sexuality and sexual trauma. We didn't recognize sexual trauma in the United States until 1971.
Wow.
So we had so many children that when they would tell what happened, somebody would say they're making it up. They have a this or a that thing going on, you know. So 1971. And so for Gina to have done that work, like in the 90s, I think, was just very innovative. And I'm so grateful she was alive to see it start to do this, because it was so much bigger. I mean, we can bring anything and anyone to it, you know, and we have similar results in that people have ahas that last for them, that stick for them.
And I work a lot with couples and families, and I have my closest colleague, Daniel. We talk a lot about that. It's so many psychotherapists that don't ask about sexuality with the couples, and you can't what you say, you can inte, you can't
you can't undo, or
no,
you can't
you have to ask that, because we have spoken about that the sexology the sex, vad säger man, sexological, the energy.
The sexual energy, it is
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, the sexual energy is everything that we have spoken about, but we also need to talk about the physics, the activity, because it's also the most intimate relationship in the couples or in the family. If mom and dad doesn't have sex, it's going to affect everything in the family.
Yeah, I would qualify that a little bit and say if they're not having good sex or if they're having a lot of bad sex or no sex, it will affect. Because sex is not sex is not sex.
No, right.
Right? And we have to understand that if it's building intimacy and safety, connection, pleasure, then it's gonna have a grounding, positive impact. Yeah. But if it's transactional, if he or she is doing it because they want it, because it's been 2 weeks, it's killing desire.
Yeah, it is.
It's killing safety.
Yeah. Right.
And so yes, it
harmony,
has to be
balance, and everything.
It has to be talked about.
It has to be talked about, and we always talk about that and then you get to the core very fast. In what because it is the most intimate part of the relation. It's very interesting, and it kind of gives so much, and the couples can actually get healed very fast, or know that you have to split. It's make the process go much more fast.
I would say a little bit about the trauma field because you can see with young kids that been victimized from a trauma that they lose their playfulness.
Yes.
And there you have the connection with the sexuality because it's something with the energy and the playfulness, and I always talk with couples about the playfulness together. How does it look? Tell me about it. What are you longing for? What do you miss? How do you want to connect to the other person? Or how do you want to connect as a parent to your child or the child to their parent? So that kind of energy that you are talking about, going through the whole system.
Yes.
But in different ways. So children that are very much afraid, or people in couples that are very much afraid, loses their playfulness.
The playfulness is so
you need
important.
Safety to get this playfulness. You need safety to explore your sexuality as well. That I would
Play and the sexology energy. Could you say something about that?
Well, if you have the Swedish word kärlek, it's a game that you love, really. A play. It's playfulness. So it's sex is curiosity, playfulness. It's that energy that actually is the core of sexuality. And if you, like Linda said, if you are traumatized and this safety is taken away, the fear of being curious and playful will stop you, and you will shrivel up, you will shrink. And if you're stopped by religious or upbringing, shamefulness, that would also shrink your ability. But through therapy and healing practices, you can find that curiosity and like with endings and beginning, and start a new part of your life. But you need the secure, the safe space to do that, and to have someone that you trust to listen to you.
Yeah, from a neurological perspective, it's a right brain, left brain kind of thing. We play from our right brain, we create from our right brain, we have fun, playful sex from our right brain, right? If you're afraid, your right brain gets turned off, left brain is hypervigilant, right? And this lack of safety is going to affect things. It's also what makes depression make sense, right? Because if I am scared enough and this shuts down, my playfulness shuts down, and sexuality is from our playful place, then the depression is part of what's shutting down the right part of your brain, because you're scared and you're worried and whatever. And it's very much in here. If people aren't wanting or are afraid of connection and pleasure, it often is because something has shut that down, that right side of their brain. You know, they're also not singing in the kitchen, maybe, and they're also not whatever, you know.
Doing crazy dances when they cook.
Yeah, exactly.
They are not in play. So play, right and left brain, and meditation. So now we're going to have an erotic meditation from Tina Nevin. So tell us about
Well, what I've been doing when I've had patients that have been traumatized or with surgery or everything, I usually take them through like a meditation, like a body meditation, and if it's a male or female, doesn't matter. It's like a genital meditation, but it also from there is the whole body, and so let's do a little meditation. So like sit in a comfortable position, and have your feet connected to the ground, the floor, the carpet, or whatever it is. And I would suggest that you move your body a little. Don't lean back and be relaxed, because this meditation is not about just being relaxed. You move from your waist and up and sense your whole body. And I want you to take one deep breath in and hold it a bit, and then as a way of clearing whatever is in your thoughts and mind and everything. And do that 2 more times, in and out. And again. And with eyes closed, feel that you're comfortable and can sit like this. And if you have your hands on your knees, let your fingers just circle around your knees. That's part of your body. What does that feel like? And then hold still and just notice. This is a meditation where you notice with no values, no rights or no wrongs. You're in this earthly vessel, this body, this amazing thing that might have a lot of pain or aches and functions that you're not really content with, but set that aside. All those things are feedbacks. It's not that you've failed anything, it's the body talking to you. It's your body. And you are the best person to know what your body needs. So let's do a short scanning. Where do we start? Let's start with the head, because I think most of us are very much in our head, in our mind. We think, we plan, and we have, a lot of us have this idea when it comes to sex and sexuality and erotic meetings, either if it's with ourselves or with someone or lot of other people, that it should be spontaneous. But here is a secret. Sex does not have to be spontaneous. You can plan it. And I know that to have a regular meeting with yourself in an erotic meditation, once a week, once a day, or what is comfortable for you right now, will help you connect with all parts of your body. So have that in your head, in your mind. I can discover new parts of my body. I can discover sensations I had no idea I could have. I can feel this sexual energy from anywhere in my body. Can I feel it in my ears? You can use your hands now. Go to your ears. How does that feel? Just notice. Feel your ears. Can you feel any sensation? And then let your fingers play around your neck down. And if you feel something that tingles a bit extra, stay there and just say hi. Oh, I didn't know I had that part of my body that felt nice to touch and massage. And down your shoulders. Now take your right hand and stroke and feel your left arm on the outside to your fingers and on the inside of your arm. I know a lot of people say that this inside is really sensitive. Why didn't I notice that before? I think I'm going to explore that more when Tina is ready with this meditation. And then you do the same with your right hand. Feel with your left finger to right hand, your fingers and the inside. And then you go up. Feel with both hands now around your breasts, your nipples. How does that feel? Maybe not so good. Or, yes, this feels good. Notice. Just notice. Then you have your stomach with the belly button. And before we go further down, just notice how it feels. Now remove your hands and open them. Then you go to your face. Did you know that the most intimate meeting with yourself or with someone else is the kiss? You can kiss your hand. When you're young, you might try to tongue kiss, practicing with your hand or with some kind of like a tomato or something, just to lick around to get the feeling using your tongue and your lips. The kiss is so much erotic. It's so sexual. Don't forget that. And if you're dry and if you feel uncomfortable, take care of your lips, take care of your mouth, because that is a very sexy part of that most of us enjoy. If you don't, that is okay too. Remember, nothing is wrong. Everything is just feedback. Listen to your body. Okay. When we're done, you can explore your face and your neck. I'll leave that discovery to you. Now let's go back to the stomach and the belly button. Now I want you to hold your hands and have your hands towards your pelvic bone and just hold them there. Take a deep breath and notice. And if anything that I'm guiding you through is uncomfortable, you take your hands somewhere else where it's more comfortable. It's your body, it's your choice. This is the curiosity of a little squirrel trying to discover with your fingers, with your mind, your body, your heart, everything, your spirit. Hold your hands there Does it feel anything? Do you have a name for your genitals? Like, hi Willie, hi Dick, hi Fifi, hi Yoni. If you don't have a name of your genital parts, I would suggest that you sit down and think of what wonderful, loving name you can give your genitals. Maybe it's snippa in Swedish. It's okay. Anything that feels good with respect, love, and sexual energy, because this is one of the most powerful parts of our body, I think. I know. Hold your hands. And since you're sitting, it's hard to explore more. So I urge you, when you feel ready, book time with yourself. Plan time for yourself. Don't wait for time to come to do this. Put it in your agenda. Exploration time. Safari time. Now move your hands to the inside of your thighs. You know that there are nerves here that are connected to the clitoris and to the penis, it's like everything is connected. And the nerves are responding, they're communicating with each other, but also to the whole nervous system, to our thoughts and to our sensations. Did you know that you can find any place to feel this sensation that releases the feel-good hormone oxytocin or others that make you feel good? It's pleasure. And remember, there's no performance in this. It's just to search for, where do I have my pleasures? Go down your legs. If you have shoes on, kick them off. Feel your feet. Use your fingers and just explore. And take your time. When you do this, book half an hour with yourself. Because what you can do is you can learn about your body. You can teach your body. You can make your body feel more sensations. Respond to your touch. And also, did you know that you can think yourself to orgasm? Thinking off, we call it. There are research showing that you can lay down, and if you visualize, maybe you've had a real good erotic meeting sometimes in your life, think back of that moment and relive that moment in your brain, in your mind. How does that feel? Can you have that moment? Any moment where you felt good. And what you can do is to have that thought. Think of your genitals, your penis, your clitoris, your yoni, your pelvic part. And by thinking, breathing, you can actually make a new path, just like deers walking the woods back and forth. You can use your neurological system and start new paths in your body by repeating, walking back and forth, thinking, touching, thinking good thoughts. I can do this. I can feel this. I can think myself into an orgasm. Wow. It might not work. You might feel silly about it, but what do you have to lose? So, with this erotical safari meditation, you have the first little key to open a door to curiosity, playfulness, and planning that this, it tickled a bit here and there. I'm going to make this into a regular thing. I'm going to plan an erotic meditation with myself. Yes, that will be my decision. Thank you for being with me in this meditation. I feel so good in my body, and I hope you do too.
Tina, Nevin, oh my God.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
Temperature went up in the room.
Yeah. Are you okay, Rasmus? Okay. Pussy power when it's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. And this was a totally amazing meditation to go into. And I was thinking about also that with this sexual, that we want to teach we talked before about the children, the teenagers and so on, to stay in your body. Don't give you away. Don't focus so much of the other. How would I look like? How would I sound like? Does he or she likes me? And so on and so forth. Just stay in your body. This is an awesome practicing. What you say?
Yeah, practice.
To learn to stay in your body. Right? Thank you. This hour went like this, and Rasmus have said about 5 minutes. So we have to think about what else we want to talk about these last minutes. What do we want to bring out to the Swedish people? What's important? What do you think, Linda? Tina? What is most important if we just focus this last minutes about that? What?
Don't stop being curious. Continue to be curious. And get to know yourself. To me, get to know yourself in all dimensions. That is the message. Don't let anybody stop you from being curious about your abilities of pleasure.
And the importance of having safe, fun, good connections in your life where you can experience pleasure, whether it's sharing a good meal or cooking or going for a hike in the forest or just feeling the cool, slightly warm air on your face. Make you and experiencing connection and pleasure, make that a priority, like you were saying, Tina, and know that you have an inner healer that wants to keep working to heal you and connect you in real, lasting ways through connection and pleasure. Those are healing mechanisms in our lives, and there's lots of ways to explore that. So
It is.
And also the wisdom from our ancestors, right?
Yes.
So that's the field that really, I think is so beautiful if we open up our eyes a bit and our ears.
Yes.
And really can see where we are now, but we have been living for how many years?
Yes.
And we have these rituals and ceremonies before us, before Freud,
Yes.
the room. We have this in different. I know the both of you, Tina and Tina, you are much into this, and you have, Tina, Nevin, you have been living with the Native Americans for your half life.
50 years.
Yeah. So you have a lot of wisdom from there. So I love that, and that we bring that to the therapy room as well.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that tapping into that wisdom that has been here for centuries and centuries helps us know how to live today in ways that have more impact, right? It helps us see through the false ideas that money is going to do this or whatever, is to really tap into the wisdoms that have been around for thousands of years. And this is really one of the places where psychedelics, I think, has so much promise for us too, is that it takes us into the ancient. And it helps us see that there are ways that these plant medicines have been a part of freeing humans from their own traps for, again, thousands of years. And I think we need that now, so we don't get sucked into ideas that actually don't have a lot of wisdom, right, in them. So really continuing to seek out those wisdoms that have been around and remind ourselves, remember ourselves.
And it's and to recognize that this is not New Age. This is ancient wisdom. And those who cause this New Age, they don't know what they're talking about. I think that is important too. This is not New Age. We are embracing wisdom from the indigenous people and our ancestors. We need that.
Yeah, we need that, and it's coming. Thank you for bringing up that psychedelic. When are you coming back to Sweden?
When do you want me back?
We have to do that conversation as well about psychedelic, because you have. What do you do with psychedelics?
So I'm a certified psychedelic therapy provider in America. We have 2 states right now where psilocybin is legal, ketamine is legal federally, and we have 25 years of research in MDMA. That is what we call an empathogen. It's a heart-opening medicine. And again, these medicines are situated in ancient wisdoms, right? And so for those of us who work with people who've experienced a lot of trauma, we often have a heart for seeing them liberated from that trauma. And we know the hard work that people put into healing from often generations of trauma. And there is a kind of magic in what psychedelics can do in helping the mind, the adult mind, get out of patterned ways of thinking and go to very creative ways, where it's like when we were 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and our brain was open, we went to creative ways to see things, right? That's why children say such amazing things. Well, psychedelics allows us for a period of time to go to that place where our brain is open, because the healing is inside of us. But getting at it sometimes is difficult because of our own limitations. And psychedelics opens up an opportunity for us to have a very healing experience that gives us hope and helps us see it differently. And that ability to see it differently and feel it differently helps us live differently, gives us a liberation where we're like, I'm not my trauma. I'm not this thing that happened. I've been loved for thousands of years. I'm worthy of love and belonging. So now we do dinner different and we do friendship different because of this experience that we had. And so people are finding ways to experience healing in faster ways than often we're able to do with just therapy alone. And I want that for people. I want as many people to be liberated from the trauma they've been in. And in the United States, we create so much trauma that I think people need to be liberated so that we can use their wisdom too in helping us get out of the traumatic ways that we have put the human experience together, you know?
Yeah. True.
So...
True, and as you said that, like MDMA or an empath drug, what kind of energies comes through psilocybin and
so ketamine is an anesthesia. Yeah. They're all different, and those are the ones I've learned the most about. But every medicine has its own characteristics about it. Psilocybin can give you experiences in your mind that feel very liberating and freeing. It also can bring experiences that maybe it manifests what a trouble might be inside of you or a struggle, and it makes it so that you can work with it. But it might feel hard when you're in it. And that's why it's so important that you get a medical evaluation first, and you're sitting with somebody who's going to keep you and your body safe. So if you have a hard experience, they're there with you to say, I'm here, you're okay, you're safe. Why don't you be curious about what this darkness might be around? Maybe there's something there for you. Maybe there's a wisdom there for you. And you're just sitting with them as they go in and ask the question, but they know that they're safe. And so there's a belief inside this kind of work called the set, your mindset going into it, and setting, the setting that you feel safe in, so that if you've good set in setting, then you can trust your inner healer to help you with that process. Okay. Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and all this wisdom that is coming back to us, it's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's coming back. In this knowledge about the trauma and the wisdom of trauma. And I made this a very big conference about ADHD for 2016, 2016.
2016.
Yeah, and we had Professor Alan Francis here. And he said in the end of this conference, he said that we all should honor the shaman, because all of us that has choose to work as a psychiatrist or psychologist or psychotherapist or so on, we all come from that role come from the shaman, and the shaman first healed themselves, and they were not förtrodda, what you say, you didn't have they didn't get
you couldn't rely on them.
If they haven't healed themselves. I can't heal you if I haven't.
Yes.
And I know things when I've done this process. And I think that was very amazing of him to say that. According to all that we are speaking about now, that this is coming back to us. This knowledge.
Yes.
So we just have to embrace that. And I think that is the feminine energy that is bringing this back.
I agree with you. Yeah. And in the United States, I have an organization called Inanna Rising.
Okay.
And it was shaped around the feminine spiritual, that ancient wisdom that's been around since, she was a Sumerian warrior goddess, and tapping into that ancient wisdom, I think, is really important. And there is something going on. Like, we have an all-female board. We have 60% BIPOC board, and we're going for holding this whole process of people that are doing this work, holding them in a way that is deeply about feminine spirituality and feminine wisdom, that I think is certainly bigger than I even understand, but I can feel it moving in the world. Something's coming. Something is coming.
And we are going to long for you to come back to Sweden so we can have our next episode and dive into this. Are you coming?
Yeah, I will come back.
Okay, thank you
Promise.
so much. And thank you so much for this conversation and all the knowledge and the meditation, and Linda, that you brought this amazing women in here to this episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
FIM began as an association for board-certified healthcare professionals exclusively. In recent times, our membership have expanded to include associated members outside the healthcare system. The foundation of our work is based on a scientific understanding of integrative medicine and health, both domestic and internationally, as well as a systemic view of the human being in their environment. Our activities include organizing conferences, seminars, and disseminating information through social media. We strive to counteract polarization through interdisciplinary dialogues and Socratic principle of conversations. In addition, we constantly map and monitor research on treatment methods both within and outside of the conventional healthcare system. Together, we can make a difference.